Capitaine du côté de l'équipe canadienne, Wayne Gretzky et Robinson. Et du côté de l'URSS, Yannakin, le défenseur Kazatonov, Alexis de son prénom, portant le numéro 7, alors que les échanges de bons souhaits. Quand le tournoi a commencé, eh bien, il n'y avait qu'un hymne national que l'on entendait, soit celui du pays hôte, le Canada.
And there's the starting roster for Team Canada, the lineup as we begin this hockey game. There are the officials. Mike North, you just heard from. Jan Tadacek is the bearded one there from Czechoslovakia. He's garnered a lot of respect in this series, and Kevin Collins from the United States, the neutral officials. Pete Peters in the nets for Canada. Kazatonov are the United. Larionov missed the last game with Makarov and Karutov. Viktor Tiyanov of the Soviet Union. His team has just kept right on winning. Undefeated, actually, in major tournament play since the loss to the United States in the 1980 Olympics. Soviets back in their own zone now with Zubkov bringing it to center ice. He's checked back there. Tonelli tried to pass it rink wide. It hopped over Karutov's stick. Now Robinson moves up. He is checked from behind by Larionov. Now against the boards. Tonelli in there along with Larionov, and it's Makarov now to the line. Makarov to the corner, slides it into the slot. And it was knocked down as coming back on the play was Bossy. Now here's Karutov hoisting it over top of the net that bounces all the way back out to center ice, and Kazatonov back in his own zone now. Soviets make changes. It is cleared back out through center ice and down into Team Canada territory, and we'll get the icing as Gretzky goes back to pick it up. Early in the game, and this is minute 28 gone in the first period. No score, face-off, brought around behind the net there by Stelnov. In the corner, it's flipped out in front. Mushkin handles it and leaves it to the side of the net. Out comes Barnikov. At center ice is intercepted by Huddy. Soviets move up, but Anderson comes across and makes the check. Now against the board, Starikov there to the line. Ports off, couldn't get free as he hit the line. And Canada, but that throws off Anderson's skate out at center ice. Now Gartner moving up. They've got a lot of speed out there now with Messier. Now we've got some pushing and shoving going against the boards. Gartner along with Mikhail Barnikov. And they're going to toss them both, which is, I think, really the correct decision.
Yeah, there'll be double minors there. Mike Gartner's fighting along the boards, trying to get the puck loose up to the forward. The Soviets just standing in his way, trying to hold him off. Gardner's just putting lots of fight into it there.
So at 1:59, Barnikov and Gartner will go off. So there'll be a little skating room out there.
Well, the Soviets, they don't mind playing 4-on-4 or 3-on-3. They got guys that can handle the puck, but the forwards come up, or the defensemen come up on a play such as this and act as a third forward to cause a 3-on-2.
Now to Zubkov, back in his own zone, out to center ice, collected at his own blue line by Coffey to Robinson. Robinson at center ice, Sutter gets it to Robinson, back to Sutter at the line. Sutter moving into the corner, Zubkov on top of him. They clear it in behind the net now. Out in front, Coffey clearing it out there. He's playing very deep on that play. Robinson passed it up onto the stick of Vasiliev. Vasiliev shooting it back to Makarov, and here he comes. He's got great speed. Look at the move, and he hit the line. Goes to the backhand, and Robinson was right on top of him and put them in against the boards. Karutov now back out for Makarov. Makarov against the boards. Gretzky on top of him. Into the corner he goes. It's flipped behind the net, and Larry Robinson has it. Robinson off the boards, near the line, and it's brought to center ice. Team Canada carrying the puck over the line as Michel Goulet takes the hit as he put the brakes on. Kazatonov clears it to center ice. Bork, low, through center ice. Ilya Ledinov clearing it right back again. Ray Bork's got it. Bork just off the boards. Gretzky has to go back with it now under some forechecking pressure from Ilya Ledinov. Out comes Team Canada with Bork. Center ice, shooting it in. Anderson moving in. The puck comes off the back boards. And covering up his Mushkin, he holds for a face-off deep in the Soviet end.
There's been great tempo in this game. The Canadian team tonight, they're
À 4 contre 3. Mais encore là, le repli des Soviétiques a été remarquable et les issues ont été plutôt rares jusqu'ici.
4-goal scorer last year. Messier in the corner now, along with Anderson playing up front. The penalty has now expired. Puck is loose inside the zone, but the Soviets control, only to lose it. Gave it away right at the line as Anderson coming back. Now Messier going, good check in there on Stelnov. Now in the corner, Messier, Stelnov checking on him. Also in there is Gartner, and they'll hold it in and get another face-off in the Soviet end. This is Labatt's Canada Cup on CTV. 17 gone in the period. We haven't had a shot on goal yet. Peter Stastny out there. There's center line along with Brian Bellows. Face-off, Bourne is on the line as well. Bourne goes after it in the corner, rolls it in front. They try to bottle up that area in front, as Darrell was mentioning, and just failed to get it through. Now down to the line comes Yashin. Yashin shot right on the rebound. Stastny cleared it into the corner. Svetlov stick handling with that puck near the line. He falls, gets the puck into the corner. There's a shot from near the boards by Semyonov. Semyonov gets it again. He's checked out of the play by Peter Stastny. Circling with it now. This is Svetlov. His shot. In the corner, Huddy behind the net. Here's Doug Wilson. Good to see him back in the Team Canada uniform. He had the knee injury he suffered in the Czechoslovakian game. At center ice once again. Backhanded in by Huddy. Team Canada making another quick change. This time on defense as Robinson and Coffey come out, and it's Robinson coming off the bench who picks it up. Robinson at center ice, clears it to Coffey. Coffey over the line. Has to reach back and then clear it behind the net. Sutter hustling after it. Sutter trying to get it in front. Fossey in front, and Tonelli was there. Just couldn't get his stick on it. Tonelli again. Trying to get it in front. Fossey is there as well. Fossey back out near the line, and it was deflected by Vasiliev down the ice. Back to get it will be Coffey, and we'll get another icing. And the Soviets icing the puck a bit.
This line of Fossey, Tonelli, and Sutter, they've been the most consistent line of Team Canada throughout the series. They do nothing but work, cough, make the other team cough up pucks in their own end and create scoring chances. And they're doing that again tonight. Getting the fans going.
Jan Tanachek set to drop the puck. And you see Vladimir Kogan out there wearing the face guard. He has got a nasty cut over his eye. 25 stitches he suffered. There's Robinson now. Here's his shot. And he hit the post. Now back to the corner is Coffey. Behind the net, Sutter. Tonelli there as well. Cleared out to center ice now, and the Soviets on the march. Getting the return pass is Varnikov. Over the line. Rolling on the play is Skvortsov. Behind the net, Robinson. Varnikov checking on him. It's back near the line. Coben backhanding it in behind the net again for series. Now here's a steal right at the line. A shot, and the save is made by Peters. In behind the net, now it's cleared. Soviets controlling it in deep. Gretzky now digging it out in the corner is Bork, but he can't get it out of the zone as Pervulkin keeps it in. Now Goulet got it caught in his skates. Team Canada running around a bit. Now cleared in front of the net. And it's Lowe finally clears it out to center ice. Bielya-Letdinov ahead. Backhanded it over the line. Middleton in deep after it now. Middleton trying to hook it out in front. Goulet trailing on the play. Middleton's there as well. Rolls it out in front. It goes right past Gretzky. The Soviets bringing it out to center ice once again. Over the line. The drop pass. Vasiliev dropping it. Now trying to work it in front of the net is Shipalev. Wound up in front of the net, and there's going to be a slashing penalty called on Team Canada.
Peters is known to take penalties. He's an aggressive goalie playing against him in the National League.
Early in the hockey game. Penalties like that you cannot afford to take.
Those type of penalties have cost Team Canada throughout the series. They've taken them at bad times in the hockey game. Let's hope they can kill this off here.
Back to get it now is Zubkov in his own zone now. The penalty killers for Team Canada. Sutter along with Tonelli. Robinson bringing it down and flying over the line now. Running it set. Here's a chance for Larionov. He shoots for the save. Oh, a tremendous save is made by Peters. Behind the net now. Makarov out to the blue line. Zubkov keeping it in. Here's his shot. He's wide of the net. Kazatonov in. It's Larionov. Larionov back to Kazatonov to Zubkov. In for Makarov. A shot. It deflects off the glass. And without the helmet there is Karutov. In the corner now. Karutov makes a big hit from Robinson. Robinson goes down. The puck is underneath him. And the fans start to come to life here in the Olympic Saddledome in Calgary. To the aggressive aggressiveness of the Team Canada defense.
Well, there was a great save by Pete Peters, and that's the type of goaltending you have to have against the Soviets because they're going to get those chances. Here's Larionov all alone. He takes a look, he makes a little deep, and Pete keeps his leg outstretched there. Fine save by Peters.
What a great move by Larionov. Yes, now they have Semenov out there, along with Yashin. Yemaev also, or correction, that's Svetlov also on the line as the puck is out at center ice now, and it is Pervulkin. Pervulkin getting the puck now. He's number 5 for the Soviets. Pervulkin, a red five pass now. Down over the line comes Yashin. Yashin cutting in front. Yashin looking for a man. Drops it back for Pervulkin. The shot is off the stick of Messier, who was moving out on the play, and it was batted ahead. So we'll have a face-off. Well, it's getting a little rough out there as we look at Semenov. Anatoly Semenov, big fella at 6'3", 196 pounds, and one of the youngsters coming along, 22 years of age, out of Moscow Dynamo. Line, as they like to call it, it's a line that is used mainly in North American tournaments for the Soviets. They don't bring them over for World Championships and Olympic play. They're a little too rough, and they take penalties. They like them in North America. Now out at center ice now, leading the rush over the line and working for the corner. Flip pass in there for Huddy, and it's bounced wide as Goulet cut in front of the goal mouth. Goulet jamming in against the boards now, trying to kick it free. And Gretzky's in there as well. Comes out to center ice. After that puck is Varnikov. Varnikov over the line, hopped over his stick. Now he's looking for a man in front. Clears it into the slot. Starikov shot it wide. He was forced deep, and the puck is cleared away. Now Varnikov at the line, but he's checked, and Canada moves to center ice now with Goulet. Out at center ice, dumped is Gretzky. The puck winds up in the crowd, and we'll have a face-off. Eddie Westfall's down below. Eddie, what are you seeing?
Ed Westfall down here at ice level, something that's become quite evident here in this hockey game. Team Canada so far through 10 minutes.
And the speed line is out there again. Gartner, Messier
Have lots of speed on the wing, and they can both score goals and make good plays, so we should see lots from this line tonight.
Ray Bork shooting it in now. Starikov's back there. Starikov out of center ice for Larionov. Back to Starikov. Starikov's over the line. Now the defenseman going in deep. Bork on top of him. Takes him out. And it's low. Just pokes it along the boards for Bossy. Bossy couldn't get it out. Still Nuff's shot is wide. And on the far side, out comes a long lead pass from Tonelli. Bossy has to send it back into his own zone. There's going to be a penalty here. Canada on the attack now. They've got the man advantage as the goaltender comes out. The shot. Oh, and it rolled right to the goal post. Moishkin had it go by him, and it rolled right to the goal post, and Moishkin covered up.
Moishkin juggled that puck a little bit.
Well, here comes the shot.
Notice the Canadian players charging to that net after that puck is dropped.
Off the outside of the post is where it happened, but it seemed to handcuff Moishkin. He just kind of got up there where he couldn't handle it.
Well, we have a chance here on a power play now. 5 minutes left in the
Holding at 14:49.
The Soviets are very aggressive in their penalty killing. They do not give you time to set up behind the net like Wayne Gretzky likes to. They force the pointman, the puck goes out to the pointman, they force you to make a pass. Lots of times when you're not ready.
Points. Goulet, Gretzky out there, and also Bossy, so lots of firepower. Bossy's got it against the boards, in for Gretzky now, tried to flip it out in front, it hit a leg as Kasatonov was covering at the side of the net. Gretzky goes down. Now against the boards, Bossy in deep, Gretzky's got it behind the net now, they'll try to get something set out in front, there's a quick shot, Goulet! And it was right in on Moishkin who made the save, and the Soviets break out of their zone. Over the line now, Varnikov. He's hit in against the boards. Goulet digging it loose. Wilson's in there as well, and it's held for a face-off about 10 feet inside the Team Canada line.
Well, there was a good try by Gretzky and Goulet. I don't know if Moishkin saw it or not. It just hit his pad and came right out. Here's Gretzky in behind the net now, taking a look. Goulet trying to get into the hole.
Can't come much closer than that, Darrell.
Nice
Gretzky in his favorite position. Varnikov, Svortsov, along with Billy Letinov, and Kasatonov for the Soviets. Canada right now. Anderson out there with Middleton and Messier. And they'll operate from behind their own net now as Robinson takes the pass along the boards out to center ice now. Here's Anderson. Anderson ahead over the line now for Messier. Just wrists it in there. And Mushkin covers it up as Middleton moved right in on him. Another face-off in the Soviet end. They'll take those all day the way Canada's been winning those face-offs.
Well, that's for sure, and that's the idea of it. Not to give Michigan time to give it to his defenseman to clear it out of there. To force him to freeze it and take that face-off.
He just took a mouthful of snow there.
Cool him off a little.
Show the man a little respect there. Vladimir, Moscow Dynamo. All right, let's see. There's the snow. That's a good bit of it too. A load. A dump truck came down on him. Oh, a little extra there, which wasn't necessary. So Robinson, we'll see Michigan again get his load of snow. How do you do? 1:14 left in the power play now. Goulet to Robinson. Robinson trying to get it back to Goulet. Goulet traps it against the boards, feeds it in deep now. Gretzky in the corner, back out to Robinson. He tees it up, shoots it in there. Bouncing puck. Bossie's after it in the corner. Also there is Bielya-Litvinov. Back out to the blue line. Robinson. Robinson getting it in. It's over Bossie's stick. In the corner, Bossie. Bossie behind the net for Gretzky. Gretzky with Goulet parked out in front. Now Bossie moves in there. Robinson comes in. I think he hit the post. Robinson behind the net. Now Gretzky. Gretzky controlling it back there now. Robinson's pinched right up along the boards. Cleared in front and Bossie fanned. It rolls wide of the net. Gretzky. And it pops free and Karutov. Out to center ice now. Larionov off to Karutov. And he's forced back as Team Canada recovered very quickly. Now Karutov. Stick handling at center ice. Bielya-Litvinov shooting it in. 19 seconds left in the power play. Out at center ice they come. Anderson to the line. Anderson dropping it. The shot by Gardner. That one blocked at the goal mouth. Gretzky's in the corner. Also in there for the Soviets is Gimayev. Cleared along the boards. Gardner cleared out through center ice and back down into Team Canada territory. Wilson will go back. The penalty is over. Wilson stopping up behind his own net now. Ahead for Coffey. Coffey up on the right wing boards. Coffey a rink-wide pass. Anderson backhanding it in. Messier was way offside on the play. We'll have a face-off. No score in this hockey game with 2:53 remaining in the first period. It has Stastny out there with Bourne and Bellows against the line for the Soviets. That is centered by Irik Gimayev. Over the line now, leading the Russians Stelnov. He's stopped and Kevin Lowe comes away with the puck. Behind his net now, Stastny comes back, but Lowe elects to hold on. Now feeds it off the boards. Out to center ice it comes, but Bork couldn't get free. Back in over the line now is Shepelev, and he rolls it in front of the net, but Bourne is back. Bourne lost possession of it at the side of the net, but Bork covers up. Raymond Bourque. Out to center ice, Bourque backhanding it ahead. Picked out of midair, Bourque moves up and flips it in. Stastny's in there forechecking. Cleared for Zubkov. Zubkov cutting across ice now with Bourne giving chase, and Zubkov hits the line now. Tried to feed it off on the wing for Shepelev. And it's Canada right back again with Bellows. Over the line, Bellows. Bellows with Stastny. Bellows shoots it! And Mushkin on his knees makes the save.
I love what I'm seeing out there tonight. Team Canada playing with lots of emotion. They're getting more chances tonight than they did the other game against the Soviets, and they're pumped up. Mushkin's juggling the puck at times. Maybe not so sure of himself.
Well, Team Canada has had the last 6 shots on goal. It is now even at 9 apiece. 1:59 remaining in the period. Sutter with Tonelli and Bossie. For the Soviets. Semenov along with Yashin and Svetlov. Back to the blue line. There's a shot through a crowd that's wide of the net. Yashin against the boards. Out at center ice. Makarov. Cleared to the line. There comes Makarov over the line. Makes a couple of moves. Tries to get through. Controls it. Shoots it right in there. And the save is made by Peters, and Robinson's got it. Robinson now behind the net. Makarov digging in after it. Roughed up against the boards there by Coffey. Sutter moves in as well. Along the boards, cleared back to the point. Kazatonov's shot is deflected off the glass by Peters. Now Bossie. Bossie just pops it out to center ice, and Kazatonov. 1:24 remaining in the first period. No score. Kazatonov in his own zone. Off the boards, Coffey, clearing it right back in again. And Gardner upended as he went in. He ran into Noah, the referee. In the corner, Kazatonov. Flips it out to center ice once again. Messier couldn't handle it. Back in the defense is Charlie Huddy. Flipped through center ice. Gardner hustling after it. Less than a minute remaining now. It's Perwulkin along the boards. Messier. Rink wide pass on the far side. Kazatonov. He's roughed up against the boards. Now along the boards. Trying to get loose and out of his own zone as Varnikov is cleared back in. Wilson, the rink wide pass. Anderson. Anderson ahead for Gardner. Gardner over the line. He's double teamed as he goes through. Anderson going in. Now it's Gardner. Into a pile up in front. Gardner shoots it right on. Out come the Soviets. Ortsov. Ortsov at center ice. Ahead, the pass and the long shot by Varnikov, and it's cleared away by Peters. And down into the Soviet zone. 19 seconds remaining. Out at center ice, knocked down and cleared back in with players trapped. So we'll get a face-off outside the Soviet blue line with 12 seconds remaining in the first period. As we look at Glenn Anderson, game that Canada has played, no score. And we have 10 seconds remaining now in the period as the puck is shot in. Middleton hustling in after it. Now it's cleared along the boards. Gretzky chopped out near the corner. Bork knocked it out of midair, and as he played it, it is called with 1 second left, so there'll be a puck drop in center ice.
Well, this is the game we were all looking forward to seeing. It's what we thought it would be, and it's living up to it all the way. Some great scoring chances and some good goaltending by both hockey clubs. Fast tempo to it.
So they'll drop the puck and the siren will go, and what a period it has been, Darrell. The shots on goal, 10 apiece. No score in the game. Canada came on in the last part of it offensively, but just a solid total period by Team Canada against a team that always plays well, of course, in the Soviet Union.
Well, the Soviets, they're not going to change. They're going to play the same way the second and third period. Let's hope Team Canada can do the same thing.
All right, no score after 20 minutes. This is Labatt's Canada Cup on CTV. The question again as we go on further into this hockey game is how Canada
To win this thing, they need 2 good periods of hockey, just like that first one.
Well, Canada out there with the center line, the Islander line. Robinson back in his own zone down. He starts out. Robinson ahead for Coffey. Coffey at center ice. It is backhanded by Bossy deep into the Soviet zone. Bossy's there in the corner trying to flip it quickly in front of the net, but it was trapped by the defense. And out at center ice it comes Makarov. Ahead for Larionov. Larionov to the line. The shot. Glove save made by Peters, and he holds on. Another good save.
Well, a good quick shot by Larionov, who comes across the blue line and uses the defenseman a little bit for a screen, and he just cranks it. Pete Peters was sharp once again.
So the face-off will be in the Team Canada zone. Bowman's out too. Yes, he is. And Sportsoff will take the draw against Michel Goulet. And from the face-off, right back to the blue line. There's a screen shot taken from the point by Starikov. Middleton overskated it. Coming back is Gretzky, and he chops it out to Session down into the Soviet zone. It'll have to be played by Mushkin. Cutting in front of his own net, and starting out is Starikov. Along the boards, that lead pass now. Over the line comes Semyonov. Cutting in front of the net, he drops it off now. Makarov, the shot, and juggled and gloved by Peters. And we'll get another face-off in the Team Canada zone. No score. This is Labatt's Canada Cup. Here's the shot coming in. Darrell.
There's Makarov letting it go. Pete Peters gets out of his net. He's at the top of his crease, cutting down the angles. He sure does look sharp.
Well, they made also on that line is Yashin. So they've juggled things a little bit, and I think they're double shifting Makarov, who also plays, of course, on the big line with Larionov. Here's Messier hopping in over the line, tries to hustle his way past Bielya-Ledinov, but he just wouldn't let him go. Now Wilson moves in, pinching in from the point. Messier can't get to it. Bielya-Ledinov clearing it around the boards. Out to center ice. Here's the break. Here's Makarov. He took a 2-line pass. They whistled it a little late, but he took the pass, and Makarov kind of looking at the referee, but that was a 2-line pass. He thinks he should have been all right.
Well, the linesman was right there on the red line where he should have been to call it.
Robinson, Coffey. Take the draw now is Shepard. And the face-off, Robinson shot, and it's gloved there by Mushkin, and there's some traffic in front of the person of Peter Stastny. He holds on again. That was another win of a draw and a shot from the blue line.
Well, that's what we can take all the face-offs we want.
Stastny lining up for the draw from the face-off. Now it's kicked back, and the Soviets get it out to center ice. After it in the center ice zone is Vasiliev, and it's Canada controlling it with Coffey to Robinson. Robinson off the boards. Right up ice comes Canada now to center ice. Cleared in by Bellows. Bourne moving in, the shot, and he gulped it right up on Mushkin on the short side. Robinson keeping it in. But the Soviets break out once again. That rink-wide pass over the line comes Shepelev. Shepelev with a shot. It's off the blocker there of Peters. He controlled it. Another shot that came in on the short side. Peters handled that easily. And Canada with Bourne. Out for Bossy. Ahead now. Bourne on the rush. Drops it for Bossy. The shot! And it was a drive. Just missed the net. Out at center ice now, Makarov. Makarov with Krutov over the line now. Makarov getting set. His shot deflects off the glass. Canada in possession once again with Sutter leading the rush. Sutter shooting it in. It's deflected off the glass. Bossy picking it up against the boards. Trying to control a bouncing puck, and he wound up deflecting it out to center ice. Wilson. Wilson gets the return pass. Rink-wide pass for Bossy over for Gretzky. Gretzky with a little room. In now for Goulet, and he's hauled down. There'll be a penalty. Lariano will be going off.
Here's Gretzky cutting laterally over to Goulet, who's pulled down by Larionov. Let's see if Team Canada can crack this Soviet penalty killing.
And from the face-off, the Soviets bringing it out to center ice now. Skvortsov ahead, trying to get it over the line is Barnikov. He shoots it to the side of the Team Canada net, and Canada now on the march. Coming out of the zone is Paul Coffey. Coffey through center ice, flips it in now. Around the boards it goes. Coffey trailing on the play, and he threw it out in front, but Middleton is forced to play at the point position. That was vacated by Coffey. Over the line now, here's the shot. That's steered wide of the net by Peters. Middleton. He'll take the puck to center ice himself now. Middleton with the puck as he hits the line. Tries to go through the defense. Middleton got Goulet all alone in front. Couldn't get the puck to him. Cleared off the boards. Kept in by Coffey in deep for Gretzky. Gretzky. Now Goulet. Goulet behind the net. It went right past Middleton. Bork feeding it in deep. Middleton's there. Behind the net for Gretzky to Middleton. Middleton back to Gretzky behind the net. Trying to get it to Middleton. His shot is right on. Loose puck in front. Mushkin down. And he covers up.
Canada's working that play from behind the net with Wayne Gretzky quite effectively tonight. Never seen the Soviets give the Canadian player so much time behind there. There's Goulet in front trying to act as a screen. Good save by Mishkin. The Soviets have, this tournament, have been short-handed 15 times and have only given up one goal for a 93% penalty killing average, which is an excellent penalty killing.
That lone goal, as you see Paul Coffey shaking his head as he comes to the bench. That lone one-goal hockey game, but the Soviets tightened up from that point on and won the game. 1 minute exactly remaining in the Larionov penalty. Wilson's out there now. Also at the point is Glenn Anderson. And Messier along with Bossy up front. Playing everybody up except Wilson. Wilson with that big shot, but he had a rolling puck to deal with and decided not to let it go. Now Wilson playing it along the boards. Bossy back to Wilson. Wilson just flipping it up into the air, panning on it. There's a tap pass, but they couldn't get it in front for Anderson. Now into the corner it goes. Messier out in front is Bossy. Oh, what a chance! And right down in his face and giving him no room to shoot was Mushkin.
Might have been rolling a little bit on him. He didn't maybe get as much wood on it as he would have liked, but that's the position you like Mike Bossy shooting from. Mishkin's hot.
Well, the two hot goaltenders in this game. Good give and go. Bossy with a good scoring chance. Messier about to take the draw once again.
The Soviets have for the shot of Doug Wilson from the Chicago Blackhawks and, of course, Team Canada. He didn't get a shot away. They kept a man on him.
Knocked down as he hit the line. It's going to be a penalty. I think it is going to be charged against the team, against the Soviets. Puck is loose in front of the net. Bouncing puck. And goal. Everybody racing forward. And finally the whistle goes. And the Soviets
Interfere with John Tonelli right from the face-off. Knocked Tonelli down. He's right from the face-off. There you see him knocking Tonelli down.
Well, he moved out to cover the point. Got a little more into it than he wanted.
They're having a little tough luck around that net. They're getting the chances. The puck's just not bouncing their way yet.
Soviets are going to go short-handed once again, and it looked like a high sticker and elbow.
Saladinov.
Canada trailing on the shots on goal clock, 15-14 right now. Play underway, and in the corner it's Gardner. Gardner trying to hold it in against the boards, against Gemayev checking along the boards, and it's poked out to center ice. Sutter shooting it back inside the zone. Gemayev for Perbukin. He clears it down the ice. Peters out of his net. Robinson will come back to pick it up. Robinson just flipping it into the corner, nearly gave that away. Robinson now takes it behind the net as he got the return pass. Robinson, here he comes. At center ice for Coffey. Coffey with Gardner now as he moves up. Gretzky's on the line along with Tonelli. Here's Coffey moving it in. Tonelli's there. He scores! John Tonelli!
All the Team Canada players are off the bench. Beautiful play by Paul Coffey. Big goal for Team Canada. Here's Paul Coffey going around the defenseman. Makes that little pass out. Tonelli busting for the hole. Right up in the top corner. Beautiful shot. Acting as a fourth forward. He makes a great rush there and a great pass out to Tonelli.
Tonelli from Coffey and I imagine Robinson. And for Tonelli, his second goal. An interesting alignment as you see teeing off there, but an interesting alignment with Tonelli on that line on the power play.
Well, he gets control of that puck in the corner. He mucks around. He gets in front of the net. Causes a little havoc in there.
A power play goal. Goulet's got the puck now. Canada would like to take it right to them again. See if they can make it. Out in front. Oh, and a chance. That's Gretzky. Just couldn't control it. Wilson's got it. The Soviets seem to be off their game a little bit right here. Sportsov now as it's hoisted down the ice by Kovin. Out at center ice now, the Soviets hitting the line. That's Varnikov shooting it in. Peters leaving at the side of the net down. Goulet. Gretzky at center ice. One man back. That's Kazatonov. Middleton catching up. Gretzky, Middleton shooting it. And just off the shoulder of Mushkin. Back out to the point now. Goulet moving in. Goulet, good move. Goulet shoots it. Loose puck in front as Middleton dives for it. Mushkin covered up. And we'll have a face-off in the Soviet end. And Canada's got the Soviets a little off their game.
They sure do. Some great action here for Team Canada. They're all around the net here. Here's Goulet going in for another good scoring chance. Doesn't have really any room to put it in. But when you're playing a European team, if you can get the lead on them, they play an altogether different game than you do if they're up.
Get the second effort here by Middleton. Watch him now. The puck will drop at the feet. He's looking for that loose puck, and he dives, and it just got covered up.
Michigan's been juggling a lot of shots tonight.
Top will be in the Soviet end. There's Mushkin. He's been under fire in this game. He's had to make some saves, but I'll tell you, the goaltenders in this game have been very, very good, both ends.
He's a big, strong guy, and it's nice to have your strong men at center, you know.
Sergei Shepelev. Dynamo forward. Kind of a rookie. That's a crash through the defense there. Vasiliev moving in. Canada again tightens up defensively. Anderson against the boards. Try to beat it back. He's upended. Tries to reach back to it now. Vasiliev around behind the net. Stops up. Tries to jam it in the short side. Not able to do it. Puck is behind the net. In the crowd, and it was passed ahead there by Lowe. Reached down and passed it ahead, but he got the whistle he wanted.
That's why Kevin Lowe, he saw his teammate there. He put his glove on it, passed it ahead, got the whistle, get things organized. Line change here for Team Canada. Great.
Tempo has been incredible, and Canada's been right in it. 1-0 Canada leading. Here's Coffey. Stick handles pass to Lukov, and he's on at center ice now. This is a 3-on-3. Shot in now. Tonelli going in after it. Also in there's Bossy. Bossy chops it free. Tonelli after it in the corner. Bossy back behind the net. And it bounces to the side of the net. Loose there. Scramble. And goal just wide of the post. Now turning with it in the corner is Billy Letonov. Now after it is Tonelli. Tonelli fighting off a check. He's knocked down. There's going to be a penalty. Canada will go on a power play again.
Well, that's when you have a guy like John Tonelli. He works as hard as he does. He just keeps those legs going. The only way you're going to get the puck from him is to pull him down, and that's what happened there. Well, here's Tonelli working again. Just
that's Larionov.
He keeps those legs moving.
Well, you put the pressure on, you draw penalties. When you're out, the effort being put in that replay.
Well, there's lots of clutching and grabbing around that net, too. You want to get your stick on it.
They'll use Wilson on the point along with Bork. And from the face-off, it's Bork who's got it. Goulet's the other winger. Bork in the corner now, goes in deep, feeds it back to Gretzky. Gretzky off the board. Bork chopping it into the corner for Goulet. He takes a check in there. Middleton along the boards now. It is cleared away. Here's Middleton. The shot! Oh, down goes Mushkin. He's sitting on it. What a play was made to tee that one up, and I think Bork was the one who let the shot go.
Bork was coming in from
He was over at the penalty box, and he's called the two captains over, Kazatonov and Gretzky. And Aggie Kuklowitz is over there as well.
You might be telling Tianov to speed up his line changes because he keeps bringing players to the bench and delaying the game a little bit.
There was quite a conversation a moment ago between referee Mike Noeth and the Soviet coach and players, so he's trying to get the message through.
All right, play underway, out in front. Goal, side, another give and go. That time Gretzky got it away. Wilson keeps it in at the blue line. Can't contain it, and Bork has to go back for it. Bork, they put the pressure on him as Coben moves into forecheck. Bork just stands there. Gretzky comes back, skates by it, and Bork will carry the puck. Out he comes. Raymond Bork at center ice leads the rush to the line. Bork fading to the boards. He's got Goulet in front. Oh, by Middleton at the side of the net. Drives the jam, and Gretzky rolled it wide. Now in the corners, Goulet, Gretzky, cleared to the point. Bork was turned the wrong way, and he'll have to go back for it. 1 minute left in the penalty. In behind his own net. Schwartzoff forechecking. Wilson out along the boards. Here's Tonelli leading the rush with Messier. Drops for Messier. Messier to Bossy. Bouncing back. Oh, another great chance. That one hopped over the stick of Tonelli. Goulet back near his own line now. Gives it on this side for Messier. Messier to the line. Tonelli cutting for the net. Messier trailing on the play. Clears it in front. Oh, goodness. What an immense chance. And it just stopped by Mushkin.
How that one stayed on, I don't know. I don't know if he saved it or hit the post, but a great play here by Tonelli. Carries the puck in behind the net. Makes a pass right out through the crease. How that one's... Mission got his glove on it. Nice save there.
Hit a post and came back into him. And he saved it a second.
2 years ago, he was the plus-minus leader in the whole National Hockey League. It's an important stat.
Well, they move Wilson up, so they're playing four abreast with just Huddy back as Messier wins the draw. Now quickly to Anderson. Anderson relays it into the Soviet zone. Going back is Gemayev, clears it to the point. Wilson just kicks it ahead now. Over, shot here, right on, rebound, loose puck, on, down, and shoved in against the post with the puck underneath him is Mushkin. Well, they got it going again.
Great chance.
He has expired.
Everything that's come out of tonight.
Yeah, that's very interesting. But the defense is tightened up, and they've covered up on a lot of those rebounds. Sutter now rolls it in front of the net, gets it again behind the net. Sutter stopped up behind the net now as he's checked in there by Kazatonov. Fights off that check, and there's Tonelli doing his work in the corner now. Tonelli fighting off a high stick in there. Larionov's in on top of him, Tonelli, and it's Kazatonov around the boards, kept in by Robinson. And finally the Soviets bring it out to center ice. Larionov over the line, shoots it into the corner, looks for his own rebound. Behind the net, Coffey in on top of him. Coffey digs it out. Bossy fell as he tried to reach that puck. Zubkov kept it in, shot it to the side of the net. Marutov couldn't deflect it. Coffey, that rig wide pass. Way out of his net is Mushkin. He covers it up, then slides it into the corner.
Plays all the international games against Team Canada in the Canada Cups, and that's why he's here, because he's a tough little guy.
Goulet will take the draw now. And Middleton reaching for that puck and rolls in front of the net. Starikov takes it out of harm's way behind the net. Then is checked off the puck and rolls in front. But Coben is right there. Coben being checked from behind by Middleton. Also moving across is Goulet. Wilson, the rink wide pass. Over the line comes Gretzky in a 2-on-1. Gets it over. The shot by Goulet. Gretzky, side of the net. Back out for Huddy. Huddy shoots it in there. The save is made. The Soviets inside the zone. Now Middleton. Gretzky behind the net now. Gretzky tried to roll it in front of the net, and it was blocked by the defense. Now Middleton, he's knocked down, and it's cleared out to center ice. Wilson flipped it up into his own bench, and it'll be called for a face-off in the center ice zone. Shots on goal right now, significantly 27-15, favor of Team Canada. I'll see what happens here. Interesting ebb and flow, of course, to these international games between Canada and the Soviet Union. They have that explosive ability. Chopped out to center ice off the face-off now. The Soviets as it's fed back along the boards for Sutter. Sutter ducks away from a check, then turns and fires it down into the Soviet zone. Zubkov is out there with Kazatonov on the power play. Has to duck away from the forechecking of Tonelli. Sutter, Tonelli in forechecking again as Zubkov picks it up. They peel back now. Makarov ahead for Zubkov at center ice now. Zubkov will lead the rush, gets it over to Makarov. Makarov over the line now. Krutov going for the side of the net. Makarov back to the blue line, gets the return pass from Zubkov to the side of the net. Krutov makes the move, and he was forced behind the net. Didn't get any room at all from Peters. Now Canada jamming in against the boards. It pops free, and it's cleared down the ice by Brett Sutter. Mushkin out of the net now. 1:07 remaining in the power play. At center ice, it's Larionov. Turning with it, Gretzky on top of him. Now it's checked away again as Krutov tried to stick out. There's Bourne. Bourne going in with Gretzky in the corner. Gretzky, Canada controlling it even as they're short-handed here, and Gretzky goes down. They try to poke it free. Kazatonov is there. The puck is still loose. And finally it pops free as the referee lost sight of it. It'll be called for a foul. Now it's a 1-0 hockey game. And the Soviet Union
is starting to become evident in the hockey game as Canada pours on the pressure. They're forcing the Russian team.
About Fetisov and the fact that he is missing, that is a key factor because he's a wheelman back there on the power play. Here's Wilson behind his net now. Wilson, they also, may I say, have the best goals against in the tournament. They protected their goaltender well. Here's the lead pass. Goulet deflects it out to center ice. It's knocked down out there. And back in over the line now comes Koven. Koven up against the boards with Huddy on top of him. Clears it around the net. There's going to be a penalty to Wilson. He knocked, I believe it was Skvortsov, into the net. I believe that's Skvortsov there. Yes, it is.
Skvortsov was busting to the net to get a pass from Koven, and Doug Wilson caught him with his stick and upended him right into the net. Here's where those magnetic nets come in handy again. The net came off its moorings, and
he was knocked into the net. I don't think he hit any of the post at all, but the play was going behind the net, and Skvortsov got behind him in the goal crease, and he just got knocked off his pins as I think he took a little bit of a check. They call it rough. They love to play this kind of hockey. Koven, 3:08 left in the period now. Wilson off, and Canada will be killing off a penalty, but the line for the Soviet Union right now is centered by Semenov with Yashin and Svetlov. From the face-off, Canada gets possession again, winning that draw. Out at center ice they come now. Messier head for Bourne, hopped over his stick, and again, the goaltender Mushkin has been forced to play the puck inside his own zone. Now out at center ice once again. To the line, it's checked away. The Soviets in the center ice zone now. Svetlov back into Soviet territory for Bielyaletdinov. Cleared off the boards, it bounces away from everybody. And Robinson plays it. They let it go because it was a two-line pass there and it was offside. Now it's golfed down near the Soviet line. Turning with it and starting out is Semenov. Semenov clearing it into the Canada zone. Coffey clearing it right back out again. That bouncing puck scooped up by Mushkin. And he is forced to cover up on the power play in his own zone. And again, it's that aggressive play, never let up type play that Canada has featured throughout the...
Maybe they're not quite ready to. There you saw Sutter going in on top of Mishkin, not giving him a...
Comes off the bench, their big line, the Soviets, Larionov, Krutov, and Makarov out there. Puck is back to the blue line. Robinson flipping it in, it's deflected in front of the net. And it winds up on the stick of Alexei Kazatonov. Kazatonov cutting in front of his own net now. Forced back again. Now feeds it ahead for Krutov. Taps it over to the wing for Makarov. Makarov's over the line. Stick handling with that puck now. Krutov at the side of the net, but it's checked away and cleared out to center ice. Canada will make a change. It's back into his own zone as Kazatonov. Here come the Soviets once again. Krutov at center ice now, working to the line. Fakes the shot, drops it. Larionov, Makarov. Makarov against the board. In for Larionov. Behind the net. There's it out to the point for Kazatonov. His shot is blocked by Gretzky. Cleared to an open side now. 29 seconds left in the power play. In the corner now. Hakawa. Being checked closely by Lowe. In the corner, Karutov picks it up. Karutov is checked by Lowe. Behind the net, Mariano. Back out to Kazatonov. Starikov. His shot is wide of the net. Hits the side of the net. Now turning with it is Karutov. 7 seconds left in the power play. Karutov in front of that. Kazatonov. And his shot is wide. Now against the boards. It's flipped out to center ice. The penalty is over. Karutov. He shot it off low. Now near the point, Kazatonov against the boards. It's low, off the boards and down the ice for the icing here. As back to get it is Starikov, and Canada has successfully killed off the penalty. And in 4 minutes of power play time, the Soviets have failed to get a shot.
Well, great job by Team Canada. That was a big play in the hockey game, killing out the...
At this stage, letter-perfect hockey. Way back at the 7:17 mark of this second. Yimaev taking the draw for the Soviet Union against Messier. Messier wins the draw. It's back in the corner. Poppy hoists it down the ice now. There'll be a race board inside the zone. Perbukin clearing it off the boards. And it's kept in at the point by Bourne. Now after it against the boards, it's Bourne. He moves after it, but it clears the line. And at center ice, it's Coffey to Robinson. Robinson to Coffey. Coffey back in his own zone. Flips it out at center ice again. Canada wants to go to the dressing room with his 1-0 lead. They're just throwing the puck out. Coffey with 7 seconds left in the period. There's the long drifting shot. On the boards, it's Perbukin. 2 seconds left. Perbukin behind the net. And the period is over. A tremendous hockey game here in the Olympic Saddle Dome in Calgary. The teams head for a much-deserved rest. There's the fellow who was very, very big in the first period. Here's Mushkin, who's been under fire throughout the second period. In that second period, Canada outshot the Soviet Union 17-6. And
all you need is 20 good sound minutes to keep the Russians off balance, and we got to win.
Well, there you see Sergei Starikov. And there is a fellow set the style for the game. He made the big stops, and you'll love to have that when you
turns things right around. Like we saw the other night against USA, you get behind a couple goals. Team Canada keeps driving for that net, and that's what they have to do to keep the Soviets off balance.
Soviets have 5 penalties in this hockey game, and Team Canada has 4 right at the blue line, having trouble controlling the puck under the checking of Lariano. That's Paul Coffey. Now behind the net, Robinson around for Coffey. Coffey backing up and then flipping it out to center ice now. Unable to control it. After it is Sutter there, and Wishkin way out of his net now. He's going to cover it up and hold it. Penalty for that in the National Hockey League. And international hockey, it's just something that is done.
Well, when you get out of the net like that, I'm sure from a goalie's point of view, it's scary because...
And speaking of the great one, he's out there to take the draw right now. Along with Middleton, it comes back to Bork to Middleton. Middleton just tipping it ahead now. Goulet hustling in. He had 5 shots on goal in the second period back near the line. And Lowe couldn't contain it. Bork comes across, picks it up, clears it ahead. Gretzky at center ice. Gretzky ahead right through Goulet's legs. And it's cleared back in again. Bork back after it. Bork being pressured in the corner by Barnikov. Hogan's there. Gretzky flips it along the boards. Middleton ahead for at center ice now. Bork sent it away. Goulet, Gretzky catching up now. Goulet set the shot right on, and it's kicked away by Mushkin. Barnikov out at center ice now. Icing will be the call as back to get it is Coffey, and we'll face off again in the Soviet zone.
And there's another shot by Goulet. A great effort there, coming in off the run.
Having the time of his life in this tournament, enjoying himself.
He's playing like it too.
Here's another shot, this one by Gartner, that was deflected wide of the net. Perbukin out of center ice, Robinson. Robinson clearing it ahead now for Anderson. Anderson off the boards and hustling back in now is Perbukin. In the forecheck is Gartner. Also in there now is Messier. Messier to Gartner in the corner. He's checked by Ilya Leptinov, and it's cleared out to center ice now. Semenov trying to get loose. Semenov there, and he turns with it. Semenov, but it goes right to Robinson. Robinson gets the return pass. He's out at center ice now. Robinson dropping it off, and it's backhanded in by Messier. Canada changing quickly here. Along the boards, Yashin. Yashin at center ice now. Sutter reaches for Yashin. Yashin's over the line, drops the pass, and look at the checking by Anderson. Back comes Canada. Gardner getting it from Sutter. Gardner hops over a check, gets into the line. It's through center ice now, and the Soviets come back. Svedlov to the line. Svedlov, 2 good moves, and it rolled off across the goal mouth. Zubkov on the far point. Clears it in well wide of the net. Now up against the boards. Huddy moving after that puck. Sutter goes in. Carrying the puck is Svetlov. He's behind the net now. Tonelli's in there as well. He kicks it free. Falls. Puck's underneath him. And it's called for a face-off deep in the Team Canada zone.
There's some good action there. Team Canada has to be careful not to turn the puck over in the mid-zone. That's when the Soviet players what they're so good at. They can go from defense to offense.
Reminder that after the game, of course, the Labatt's Player of the Game awards. Tonelli has the goal in this hockey game so far. Coffey, Tonelli deflecting it out to center ice, just getting it out there, which is what they want to do. Ilyich Yamayev. There's it ahead now along the boards for Kazatonov, who feeds it through to center ice. Shapelov, takes a hit as he unloaded that pass. Zubkov throwing it into the corner now, low. Round the boards, Tonelli deflects it out to center ice again. Back to get it is Kazatonov. Canada makes a change. Gretzky comes on the ice. Kazatonov clearing it past Gretzky. Over the line, hustling forward is Shapelov out in front. They shot it wide as Yamayev. Now back into the corner. Yamayev on the boards. Gretzky picks it up and he clears it to center ice. There'll be icing here as back to get it is Vladimir Zubkov. And as he touches it, we'll have a face-off back inside the Team Canada zone. Here's a little statistic for you, Darryl. Since the 6:37 mark of the second period, the Soviet Union has had 2 shots on goal. Here's the Soviets trying to tee it up now. They roll it in and they hit it right on the stick. Out at center ice now comes Canada with Glenn Anderson bringing it in over the line now. Anderson in the corner. Gartner cutting for the net now. Anderson ripped up against the boards. Now in against the boards, Anderson. Anderson pokes it free and it's batted out of midair and out to center ice by Karutov. And it's Robinson. Robinson putting it ahead, but he put it right on the stick of Larionov. Ahead for Svetlov. Svetlov trying to slip through the defense. He's knocked down, and Robinson, I believe, is going to get the penalty.
Well, a little bit of a cheap call there. Larry just tried to hold him up. I think his stick got hooked underneath the arm of Stelnov.
Well, here he comes, and as the stick got around him, he got a pretty good hook. That's what he got, and finally knocked down on the play. Well, Robinson will go off. I'd like to see Robinson go.
He's big. He's got a long reach. He can steer those passes, get a stick on him.
Karutov will take the draw here inside the line. And from the faceoff, Larionov overskated it, and Sutter digs it out. Now low around the boards, and it's deflected down the ice. Messier doing the job there. He heads for the bench, and Bourne comes on. Well, the penalty killers are out there now. Low, Bork, Sutter, and Bourne. Has the tone off, and he threw it off. Bourne skate. Moving up is Zubkov. He's forced back now. Zubkov ahead. Larionov beats it back into his own zone, and Zubkov is going to have to go back for it. Well, the Soviets have just not been organized. Kazatonov coming straight up ice to center ice. Kazatonov getting it to Makarov, and he's checked at center ice, and Messier sends it back to Pervukin at the blue line. Karutov out along the boards to center ice. On the wing for Larionov. Drops it off for Makarov. Karutov's in front of the net as Makarov tries to set it up from the boards. Makarov, Canada goes into the box behind the net. Here's Lowe driving it off the boards and down the ice.
Some great checking by Team Canada there. They're getting the sticks on those pucks, grabbing hold of the loose puck and shooting it down the ice.
All right, it's center ice now. It's Yashin to the line. Yashin trying to go around the defense, and he's chased out of there by Coffey. Gretzky loses the puck. Coffey covers up, and he sends it down the ice. Only 2 seconds left in the power play. Pervukin at the side of the net. Forechecking is Messier. Ahead, Yashin through center ice. It's Semenov. Semenov clearing to the wing. Now he gets it in front of it. They score on the back end as Vasiliev cut in from the wing.
There's the play the Soviets like to do. They circle in the mid zone. They want to hit that line with speed. 3 guys coming across together. They catch our defenseman back in a little bit. Nice play by Svetlov on his backhand, right up in the top shelf.
Well, we got a 1-1 tie. And there's that play in front of the net, and Peters going across the goal. Peters got it up over him now. Svetlov.
Right into the arm of Pete Peters.
is his first appearance in major international hockey, and Svetlov comes up with a very, very big goal. So it's a 1-1 tie. Face-off at center ice now, Canada. The teams have divided power play goals. Sutter back inside his own zone. Robinson at center ice now. The lead pass intended for Tonelli. Sutter digs it out, chops it into the Soviet zone. Tonelli, Bossie's behind the net as well. Tonelli roughed up against the glass now as he's checked in there by Stelnov. Now it's cleared out to the blue line. Here's Poppy and the shot. And it went off the leg. And the pass intended for Gemayev was knocked away. Now cleared in. Robinson really reefed Vasiliev up against the boards. Nearly sent him over the boards. Here's Goulet with the long drifting shot. Back for it is Pervukin along the boards, and it went by everybody, and Robinson leaves it for Stastny. Stastny's checked at center ice. Now Karutov. Karutov with that great speed, moving for the net. He circles the net, tried to throw it back against the floor, and Robinson was with him the whole way. Now along the boards. Canada will make a change as Karutov picks it up. Ahead for Makarov. Makarov with Larionov over the line. Makarov trying to go through. He scores! Tremendous effort by Makarov.
What an individual effort that was there. The Soviets have been picking it up a little. Here's Makarov on the two defensemen. Turns Larry inside out there. And beautiful play on his backhand.
Well, not much Larry Robinson could do. Tremendous fake, and then there's the goal, and then he slides into the goal post, and now it's 2-1 for the Soviet Union. Makarov scoring his 6th goal of this tournament. And the Soviet Union here in the third period has forged ahead. Now Canada now facing an uphill battle. Huddy against the boards. Gardner clears it ahead. Run around it right at his line with Semenov. Ahead, Yashin. Yashin to the line now. Yashin getting set. Shoots it. A save by Peters, and he holds on.
Well, the Soviets have picked up the tempo, that's for sure, in the last 4 or 5 minutes of play. They're attacking the line with speed.
Sutter taking the draw against Colvin, or at least against Semenov, in a face-off behind the net. Wristed out to center ice now. Sutter is upended. Sutter comes up with it now. 3-on-1, and it's offside, and I don't know why. We'll have to look at replay on that one. Somebody apparently preceded the puck over the line, and it was a 3-on-1. And then come back out on the ice and play it this one. Well, Mike Bossy out there along with Sutter and Tonelli. Larionov. Big line for the Soviets. Makarov, who's got the puck now, along with Karutov. Look at that move by Makarov just inside his line. Now he's at center ice. There's it away. Starikov. He's checked now. Hopping over the line is Sutter. Sutter going in all the way. Back in. He shot it wide. Now Tonelli digs it out. There's that line again. Along the boards. And out come the Soviets with Larionov and Karutov. And Larionov takes it. Shoots it at the post. And then it hits Wilson coming back and goes wide of the net. Now at center ice, Sutter. Sutter along the boards. He's checked, but it's cleared in. Starikov's got it for the Soviets. Stelnov on this side. At center ice, it's Larionov. Larionov over the line now. Larionov behind the net. After it is Makarov. He's checked. Moving up now is Wilson to center ice. Wilson to the line. Wilson dropping it off. Moving with it is Tonelli. Tonelli's checked. It winds up in the corner. The Soviets in possession now with Karutov. Out to the line, and it was over top of Gretzky. Gretzky over for Bork. Bork at center ice, and he shoots it to the line. Soviets making a change here as Larionov sends it deep into his own zone. Zubkov out to center ice past Gretzky, past Middleton, and he shoots it in. Peters out of his net. He clears it off the boards on the far side. Out at center ice now, that bouncing pass went right by Goulet. The Soviets in their own zone. Kazatonov, Zubkov, Bork. Feeds it right back to his defense. Low, cleared in, but Kazatonov was in the way of that. Comes over the line, brought right back out by Semenov. Now back to the line again. Kazatonov, Yashin. And it was out of the head, I believe. It'll be a face-off outside in the center. 11-12 remaining in regulation time. The Soviet Union leading Canada 2-1 on 2 quick goals here in the third period. Canada came into the third period with the 1-0 lead. Gartner ahead, over the line, cleared right back out to center ice by Semenoff. Robinson's got it. Robinson ahead, and over the line now comes Gartner. Gartner hustling after that puck, overskated it. Losing his stick on the play was Zubkov. Check is thrown in there. They try to move it out over the line. Semenoff is checked by Robinson, and it's hoisted back inside the zone. Zubkov then trying to duck away from the checking of Anderson, and he's out at center ice. Gartner brings it back in again. Gartner, the shot, the save is made. Tremendous low shot by Gartner. Now back to the line comes Semenoff. Over the line, Yashin wasn't ready for that pass. Yashin moving in now. Eastcheck clears it in front. They shot it wide. Now back out to the line. Kazatonov. His shot is blocked by Robinson, and Team Canada breaks out. Robinson over the line now. Robinson heading for the net. Robinson behind the net. Being checked from behind, and he tapped it back there where Semenoff picked it up. Semenoff takes a check as he passed the puck away. Out at center ice for the Soviets. Mikhail Varnikov. He couldn't hold it. Canada comes back. Through center ice. Here's Tonelli trying to circle the defense. Out in front. Bossy. Had a chance, but he was busy trying to fend off a check there and couldn't see the pass. Bork at center ice. Colvin. Now along the boards. Varnikov clears it in. Bork is behind his net, getting it from Peters. Along the boards, and Canada starts out. Sutter at center ice for Bossy. Bossy goes through the defenseman's legs. Ilyaletdinov unable to hold that. It's cleared along the boards, but not out. Now Varnikov. Low back inside his own blue line. Bork. Rink-wide pass. Gretzky has to stop as the man was offside. Middleton also went offside. Now it's cleared loose in the center ice zone. Gretzky. He's got it again. There's it to Middleton. Middleton battling a bouncing puck, and it's cleared to center ice and brought back in by Wilson. Rams didn't like the call, but it was a legitimate one. And a face-off outside the blue line.
Well, Canada doesn't have a whole lot of time to get the Soviet player, so they back again.
From the New York Islanders, from Kindersley. Gretzky taking the draw. It's over the line, but the Soviets have possession. Clear, but not out. Now getting into center ice is Stelnov. And coming back is Bourne. Did a nice job ahead to Gretzky. Now Middleton's goal. Middleton! He shot it wide! Middleton got his stick on it, but shot it wide. Now Canada trying to get the face-off inside the zone. It's kept in. Coffey. Here's the shot right off. It's blocked right in front of the net. Now Wilson. Wilson into the corner. Bourne. Gretzky. Out in front. Cleared it in front. They banged away. Gretzky. Gretzky turning. Clears it for Wilson. His shot.
Here by Team Canada on the Soviet defenseman in their end. There's Wilson coming in from the point, shooting the puck. One right on top of the goalie. Miskin didn't have a chance on it. Great pressure by Team Canada. The puck just rolls over the line. Probably Bourne standing right there on top of Miskin.
Something you mentioned, Darrell, they had to jam the net. They had to go for it. And that's what they did to tie this hockey game up.
Big goal for Team Canada with 6 minutes left in the hockey game.
We'll see how Canada reacts to this and see how the Soviets react to it. Zubkov now out at center ice. That leads pass for Makarov. Makarov at center ice trying to find a man. Now hits the line himself. Makarov now feeds it in deep. Peters out of the net, leaves it there. Bork along the boards. Anderson trying to get it out. It's kept in by Kazatonov. Feeds it along the boards. Now here's Makarov. Shot it wide. Low along the boards. Out along the boards, here's the shot. Zubkov letting it go. It hits somebody in the rear end. Out at the blue line now. They still keep it in. It was patted ahead. And so we'll have a face-off outside the blue line. Karloff says it hit him on the rear end. In any case, the face-off outside the blue line, if crowds mean anything, this place is going crazy.
Well, this is what the Canada Cup's all about. The people behind. Lesney and Bellows haven't played that much. They're giving everything they have out there.
See a lot of him the rest of the way. On the face-off, puck is cleared into the Soviet zone. Stelnoff's back there, clears it around the boards, pinching in is Wilson. He goes down, puck is loose at a pile down there. Robinson now takes it to center ice and gets it ahead to Wilson, who is quickly on his feet. Back to Robinson, back to Wilson. To Robinson. Ahead at center ice, past Gretzky. Moving up now. And pulling it over the line now. Kovac trying to go through it. He's tied up by Robinson. What a great game Robinson has played. Puck is in front of the net. Knocked down by Wilson. Wilson has it. Out at center ice now. Team Canada over the line. Bourne moving for the corner. Taps it past Starikoff. Behind the net though. Covering up now. Moving it after that puck. And trying to get it was Bourne. He pinched in. Nearly got caught on the play. But the Soviets unable to control it at center ice. And Bourne will get it in his own zone. Ray Bourne. Ahead at center ice. It's Lowe shooting it in. Hustling it after in the corner now. Gardner and Anderson. Anderson clears it to the corner on the far side. Makawa along the boards. Messier drops it to Anderson. Look at Gardner in front of the net. The shot is wide. Now here's Bork shooting it into the corner. Kazatonov's there. He starts out for the Soviet Union. A rink-wide pass. Makawa, Larionov. He shoots it to the side of the net. Loose at the side. Now Messier after it. Turning his Kazatonov. Clears it in front. The pass went behind everybody. Out at center right. It's Gardner. Gardner to the line. Along with Anderson. Gardner drops it. Here's Messier. In front. The shot was wide of the net. Moving in is Robinson. Into the corner he goes. Behind the net now. Gardner back behind the net for Anderson. Out in front. Oh, it goes right up on Mushkin. And he alertly caught it and held it.
Good try by Anderson there. He almost got Mushkin off guard. A little backhand shot.
3:21 left in regulation time. Mushkin anticipating a pass out, and he pulled away from the post. And really had to go in on the short side on him. Big face-off here, Sutter. From the face-off now, Sutter is tied up, and it's Yashin who sends it out to center ice. Poppy's got it out there, shoots it right back in again. Mushkin out of the net. Buchan back there, cleared off the boards now. Bossy, he spun around. Here's Sutter. Bossy, back out to the blue line now. Poppy, shooting it in, and it's blocked in front of the net. And out come the Soviets now with Billy Latinov. Yashin after it. Robinson in against the boards. Fighting off the checking in there. They bang away against the boards. Tonelli's in there. Yashin being checked by Tonelli. He's spun around. Players still battling, and it's cleared to an open wing, and Sutter picks it up. Sutter back in front of the net for Robinson. Robinson coming out to center ice with 2:40 left. Cleared to the Soviet line. Now Ilya Latinov ahead over the line now. The Soviets, and it's cleared away and back down into the Soviet zone. Middleton racing after it. That's picked up by Stelnov. Stelnov starting out. He shoots that long lead pass over the line now. And it's top three after it now in the corner. Trying to find the man in front is Vasiliev. Around behind the net, rolls through everybody, and Middleton starts out. Middleton overskates it. It's kept in. Now Bork, low at center ice. It's past everybody. 2 minutes left. Starikoff takes a hit right at the blue line, and Middleton's hurt. Coming over the line now. Sportsov shooting it to the side of the net. Now low in the corner. Ahead at center ice now. Team Canada trying to get out of the zone. It's all over the line. It's called on the outside. Face-off outside the Team Canada blue line with 1:45 remaining in regulation time. One goal for each team on the power play. And a 2-2 tie with 1:44 remaining now as Wilson gets the pass out to center ice. Leading the rush is Gardner. He's down over the line now. Gardner with the speed, but he overskated the puck. Now gets it. Behind the net, he's checked. Also in there is Messier. Messier jammed up against the boards by Larionov. It's cleared off a stick. Messier's got the puck out in front of the net now. Oh, it's shot! Oh, they shoot it! And it is covered up finally. What an incredible chance for Canada, and they just couldn't put it in.
Just some tough luck again around the net there. Oh, Michigan's hurt, or he's just tired. And look at the loose puck laying here. Nice play by Coffey. Look at this. Oh, right into the Soviet player. There's Coffey sitting in the crease. Had it gone in, I don't know if they would have counted it or not with their player in the crease like that.
So now we've got Mushkin slowly getting up, as you see Coffey just sitting in the goal crease. Messier against Larionov. On the face-off, Messier tried to control it, but the Soviets have it now as Makarov circles back deep in his own zone. Clears it to Perbukin. Perbukin starts out, takes a hit, but got the pass away, and it's knocked down at center ice by Coffey. Waits for mates to get onside and shoots it back in again. In the corner, Gardner just clearing it around the boards. Wilson moves after it. Wilson back behind the net. Gardner moving, takes a big hit from Latinov. And the Soviets start out now with Larionov. He's got tremendous speed, but his pass was way ahead of Karutov. Bossy off the boards and at center ice once again. Latinov with 45 seconds remaining. Spun around. Here comes Canada with Bossy. Over the line. Bossy stopping up. He's looking for the man. Clears it in front. Moving in, couldn't convert it. Now the Soviets again. Sutter. He takes the puck away inside the zone. Bossy along with Tonelli. Tonelli couldn't hold it. Now it's Karutov, 25 seconds left. Karutov over the line, it's checked away and Makarov's got it. Makarov now back into the Team Canada zone with 17 seconds left. Puck is along the boards, taken by Semenov. He's chased up against the boards. Sutter's in there. There are 8 seconds left in regulation time. Canada coming out. Sutter leading the rush. Gets it over to the wing. Tonelli, and the siren goes. And we are going to overtime.
Just a great hockey game. Who's going to be the hero?
I'll tell you, for the first time in the history of Soviet Union hockey, they are going to play in an overtime game.
Team Canada have had great offensive chances. They've been putting the pressure on as they did the last part of that period there. Hopefully they can do that going into the overtime.
Well, Mushkin, as you see him there, along with Kazatonov, they'll go off for a much-needed rest. He has had himself a night. The shots on goal, 35-20, favor Team Canada, but we've got a tie hockey game. This is Labatt's Canada Cup on CTV. There's Vladimir Mushkin of Moscow Dynamo, the longtime backup goaltender for the Soviet Union, to win the Canada Cup. And Victor Tianov. Now, what did he tell his team?
Some scoring chances.
Well, and for the Soviets, this line of Larionov, Makarov, and Karutov have a total of 6 shots on. On defense, Robinson and Coffey. The Soviets will send their gunner to be ready to play right off the top. Sutter taking the draw against Larionov, and it's Larionov who wins the draw. Now cleared to the line. Sutter picks up the puck and golfs it into the Soviet zone. Mushkin and against the boards, leaves it for Kazatonov. He's checked against the boards, but then coming back is Larionov. He clears it out to center ice now. Zubkov to the line. His shot, gloved by Peters. He throws it off on the wing for Sutter. Sutter out at center ice now for Bossy with Tonelli. Bossy shooting it in around the glass. Tonelli digging it out on the far side. Kicks it behind the net for Bossy. Bossy, Robinson pinches it at the point. Fights off the check. Gets it back to the point. It's cleared into the corner. Reaching for it is Bossy. Tonelli goes down. He was trying to circle the goal post, and I think he knocked the net off its pins with his knee as he was trying to reach for that. And Ray Bourque comes out on the defense for the Soviets from Moscow Dynamo. Semenov, Svetlov, and Yashin. Gretzky to take the draw against Semenov. Puck is dropped. Gretzky gets it back to the blue line. Low shoots it. It hit Goulet. Shot! Oh! What a chance! What a tremendous save! And now against the boards, it's cleared down the ice by the Soviets. There'll be no icing. Peters plays the puck to the side of the net. Bourque along the boards now. Goulet can't control it against the boards against Latinov. Now Canada with Bourque clearing it to center ice. What a tremendous scoring chance Canada had. Now here's Gretzky. Gretzky to the line now, flips it in, reaches for a rebound as it's blocked by the defense. Latinov clears it to the wing. Over the line they come once again. The drop pass, moving through the crowd and trying to get the shot away with Semenov. They still have the puck. It's cleared to the line. Keeping it in, Latinov. Knocked down by Gretzky. And it's sent to center ice by Goulet. Sliding down into the Soviet zone now. Perbukin. Messier at center ice, ducks away from the check. The bouncing puck bounces into the Soviet zone. It's cleared off the boards and back out, and Coffey's got it. Ahead for Anderson. Anderson over the line now, fighting off the check from Bielyaletdinov. In against the boards. The Soviets control it. It's Kovin along the boards to the line. Big hit there, thrown by Wilson. Loose puck comes to Messier. Messier, rink-wide pass. Soviets. Now the lead pass for Anderson. Anderson trying to hustle over the line. He's knocked down as he crossed the line. Lowe's got the puck at center ice. Back to the defense for Coffey. Off the boards. The Soviets. Pervukin ahead. Soviets trying to move up ice. The bouncing puck comes to Kevin Lowe at his own blue line. Trying to get it to Messier. That pass was intercepted by Kovin. He goes in deep. Lowe is with him. Lowe behind the net. He's triple team back there. Sports off. Trying to get out in front. He's knocked down. Now near the line. Starikov in the crowd. And the save is made by Peters. Now to the side of the net. And Canada picks it up. Anderson. He's got a man free. And he can't get it to him. At least the offside is called. And we'll have a face-off outside the blue line. 2-2 tie in overtime.
Bogi Vashon made in overtime against the Czechoslovakian team on Milan Novi. A great glove save by Mishka.
Here comes Ray Bourque through center ice. He crosses the center line, shoots it in, took a bad bounce off the glass and bounced in front, but there was nobody there. Soviets trying to get organized in their own zone now. They come to center ice. Kasatonov coming through center and forced back now. Kasatonov, as he had men offside, now forced back once again. Now clears it off a stick at center ice. Reaching for it is Gemaev. He clears it into the Team Canada zone. Peters off the boards. Elected there. Shepelev clears it now ahead, but now Tonelli's got it. Tonelli ahead for Bossy. Bossy at center ice, shoots it off a leg. It's back at center ice once again. Now here's Bossy. He's over the line. Gets it over for Tonelli. Tonelli going in now, forced back. Tonelli trying to feed it ahead, gets the puck again against the boards. Now behind the net for Sutter. To Bossy, back out in front, and Tonelli was there, couldn't get a stick on it. Coffey in a crowd, it's loose, and they reach for it. A pile up in front. Sutter had a great chance and just couldn't get it in.
Well, this line has had chances all night long. The Soviet defenseman actually tackled Tonelli in front of the net there.
Well, they cleared in front with it just into a crowd. Look at this.
Lots of clutching and grabbing there.
Oh. Here's Gretzky now to take the draw against Larionov. Back to the blue line. Coffey shooting it through. Puck in the corner now. After it for the Soviets is Pervukin. Cleared to center ice. Robinson over for Coffey. Coffey ahead. He shoots it in now. Racing in after it is Goulet along with Gretzky. Cleared to Middleton. Soviets take over inside the zone. At center ice, Larionov. He shoots it in. Peters. We're in sudden death overtime. Coffey into the corner on the far side now. Into the corner again, Karutov. Karutov looking for a man. He's chased off the puck, and Robinson's got it. Robinson. Coffey on this side. Coffey ahead at center ice. It's off the skate of Middleton. The pass was a bit behind him at center ice. Goulet reaching for it, but Karutov comes up with it. Karutov. Bielyaletdinov near the line now. Coffey takes over, comes back. There's a pass. He tried to feather it through there for Middleton. The Soviets have it again. Makarov with Robinson. Drops it back. Larionov was trailing on the play. Didn't see the pass. But here's Karutov, and it's checked away from him by Robinson. Now Gretzky ahead. Anderson with a jump on the defense. He's all down. There'll be a penalty. A holding penalty against Larionov. And the Soviets.
Larionov, third penalty tonight, and I think all three of them were holding. And there's the guy with the speed of Anderson.
Bit of a step as he caught the flat foot, and the defense looked like it was going to get beat. Starikov there. Doesn't haul him down. He's home free on the backhand.
Big chance for Team Canada here.
4:45. Larionov off for holding. On the face-off in the corner, it's Messier. He's got Bossy in front. Messier got to step out. He tried to force it through there. A lot of action in front of the goal mouth. Now, poked free, behind the net now. It's Anderson into the corner. They hustle after it now, along the boards. And it is Messier. Anderson digging after that puck against the boards. Messier digging it loose. And the puck winds up behind the net now. Cleared to the point, kept in there by Cork. Now it's flipped out to center ice and down into Team Canada territory. Sports off will go in, but it's Peters who plays the puck up along the boards. Bourque and a player's trap. as he fell. Here comes Team Canada with Wilson, now to Bork. Bork's over the line now. Bork dropping it back to Gretzky. Gretzky with some room in front of the net. Gretzky shoots it right on, and Myshkin goes down and holds on.
Great move by Wayne Gretzky on the defenseman. Myshkin, he's been the hero tonight for the Soviet Union. Here's Gretzky cutting across laterally, makes a little deke on the defenseman. There's lots of time to shoot it here. He's hooked a little bit. Myshkin's there, right there to save it. Team Canada jamming the net again.
1:12 left in the power play. Listen to the crowd. Overtime against the Soviets. And who are they going to send in there? Czechoslovakian linesman from the face-off now. Bossy fighting off a check, shoots it up off the glass now. Behind the net is Gretzky. Gretzky back to Bossy. Cutting in front of the net now. It's behind the net. Gretzky to Bossy. Tonelli's in front. Bossy fading to the boards. Back out to the blue line for Coffey. Coffey in for Bossy. Bossy moving in now. Shoots it. At the side of the net. Tonelli at the side of the net. He's being checked in there by Pervukin. Gretzky gets it loose, but he can't hold it, and it's cleared down the ice by the Soviets. Peters behind his own net, plays it up along the boards for Robinson to Bossy. Bossy ahead for Anderson. Anderson going in. He's checked there against the boards by Vilyaletdinov. At the side of it, Gretzky out in front. And a big defensive play there by Svetlov. Out come the Soviets at center ice now. Svetlov in over the line. Svetlov's shot, and it's blocked by Robinson. Now at the side of the net. And it's Canada out at center ice now. Canada leading the rush. Over the line, backhanded behind the net by Mike Gartner. Anderson after it against the boards on the far side. Gretzky, it hops high up against the boards. Gretzky still got that puck, leaves it against the boards, leaves the puck alone, is cleared down the ice, up actually over the glass, and we'll have another face-off.
Well, some good action there by Team Canada.
Set for the face-off. Bounce back inside the Soviet zone where Zubkov has it. Zubkov playing with the puck in there. He faces some forechecking pressure. Now gets it along the boards for Makarov. Makarov fighting off a check. Gets down to the line now. Low squeezes him against the boards, but he carries on. Sutter's got the puck. Puts it behind the net. It goes out now for Kazatonov. The shot. The save.
Peters is right there.
High. He saw it all the way. We'll take a break. Well, the Soviets have their big line out. One of the best lines in the world. Larionov, Krutov, and Makarov will face off deep in the Team Canada zone. Messier will take the draw. This is very important. Win the draw. It's flipped up against the boards. Good move there by Gartner, and he plays it out to center ice past Anderson. Back in his own zone. Kazatonov, who stops behind the net and starts out. Kazatonov feeding it off the boards for Makarov. Makarov checked off the puck there by Anderson. Back in over the line is Gartner. He made a great move against the boards. Got Wilson in front, but he couldn't get the puck to him. Wilson as it rolls along the dasher board. Kazatonov back near the line, but Messier keeps it in. Behind the net, it rolls out in front. Anderson along the boards now. Behind the net. Gartner stepping away from a check. Now feeds it back again. Puck is cleared to the side of the net. Kazatonov, but he cleared it right onto the stick of Anderson. Gets it again. Now against the boards. Out at center ice. The lead pass. Over the line. Here's Larionov, and he's checked off the puck, and Coffey comes back out. Goulet moving across center ice, but Coffey gives it to Goulet. Goulet flips it in there. High in the air, it bounces. And the Soviets with Larionov clearing at the center ice. It's down into the Team Canada zone in Middleton. Middleton just ducks away from a check. Pokes it ahead now for Gretzky. Gretzky for Goulet. 2-on-2. Here comes Bork. The shot. It's wide of the net. It's the netting behind. Starakov's back there. Middleton moves after it. It hops over his stick, and it's at least Krutov. Out to center ice now. Moving through center ice is Starakov. He takes a check up against the boards. Still up against the boards. Krutov moving in. Now to the side of the net. And it's Bork. Bork ahead for Gretzky. Gretzky is checked at center ice as Coben took him off the puck. Now Peters out of his net. Feeds it back against the flow. And finally Lowe controls it. Low off the boards and down the ice. Canada looking for a whistle. And back to get it will be Stelnov. And we'll have a face-off in the Team Canada zone on the icing.
Such as that.
Well, the point used to get that backspin on it, and it just kind of lie there flat for the charging forward to pick it up. Sutter knew what was happening. See the smile on his face. Just didn't work. Coffey now along the boards. Here's Tonelli. Tonelli to the line now. Tonelli turning, fighting off a check. Sutter in the corner. Sutter still with that puck. Sutter fighting it off now. Rolls to the side of the net, and Bossy had to go off his leg. Out at center ice now, the Soviets. With Svetlov. Svetlov dropping it off now, and he's turned around, and the puck is batted out to center ice once again. Bilyaletdinov cleared back into the Team Canada zone. Peters out of the net. Peters flipping it along the boards. Tonelli's there. Tonelli fights off a check, works it along the boards himself, and he clears it to an open wing. Now it's Bossy to Sutter to Robinson. Robinson fanned on him and had to go back for it. Now swung and a shot into the Team Canada benches. We are now 9:55 into sudden death overtime. As you see the big bird who has been... And there's the Soviet bench, and I'll tell you something, conditioning or not, they are tired too. So look at Bilyaletdinov.
Feeling is to win. He's been on a few cup teams, and the last Canada Cup in wouldn't they love a Canada Cup to go along with that Stanley Cup?
Oh, good line out there to play against Gretzky. From the face-off, back to the blue line. Wilson with that big shot. It's right on. And Gretzky was there, parked on the goal mouth, but Mushkin made the save and deflected it into the corner. The Soviets at center ice now. It's fed off the boards right down to the Team Canada goal. Peters leaves it for Wilson. Doug Wilson back into the corner, past Coffey. Now it's taken by Kurutov. Kurutov along the line, still has that puck, makes the move. He's tied up by Coffey, no penalty. Now in the corner, Makarov trying to move it along the boards. Gretzky's in there on top of him. It's going to have to be a blatant one before Mike Noeth is going to call a penalty in this overtime. Set for the draw. On the face-off now, in deep, that's Kevin Lowe. Here's Tonelli, another battle along the boards with Bilyaletdinov. He's taken two players out with him there, Coben and Bilyaletdinov. Tonelli just moving it along the boards, and it finally winds up in the corner. Now, along the boards it goes again. Tonelli picks it up, can't corral it, clears in front. Now out comes Sutter, along with Tonelli and Bossy on a 3-on-2. Bossy's over the line. It flips high in the air, bounces back, goes by everybody. And out at center ice once again, it's Canada. Bork shooting it in. Behind the net. It is Pervukin. Cleared back in again, out in front of the net, and knocked down in front of the net there. Here's Wilson moving in. Out come the Soviets on a 2-on-1. Only Coffey is back. Over the line, Coben and Coffey! Great defensive play in Canada in transition. Back they come to the line. Coffey dropped it off. Here's Tonelli moving in. Tonelli to the boards. Around behind the net for Sutter. Sutter clears it out in front. Went off a leg. Now Tonelli doing all that work again, and he takes two players down with him. Back out to the blue line. Coffey takes the shot. Turns with it. Fires it in there. Deflects over top of the net. Tonelli after that puck. Tonelli ducks the check. Back out the blue line. Here's another shot. Tonelli again along the boards, right out to Coffey. Look at the Soviet forward holding our guy in front of the net. Good high shot up in the top corner. Hard work by John Tonelli, mucking along the boards. He's my player of the game tonight. Oh, without question, without question. Tonelli, this ship was outstanding again.
Just before that, Coffey made a great stop on a 2-on-1 save. 2-on-1 play, he comes back and puts it in the net. What a great moment for Canada.
from the ash heap. Team Canada defeats the Soviet Union in overtime. Not only coming off some very, very loose performances during the regular part of this tournament, a big loss and a resounding loss to the Soviet Union team. Canada dug back, came from behind in the third period after they'd given up 2 quick goals and have won it. Paul Coffey from John Tonelli and Brent Sutter at 12:29 of overtime.
What a game. This is one of the best games I've ever seen in my life. Believe me, I'll remember this one for a long, long time.
It is on to the Canada Cup final against Sweden. Well, they have given the goal to Bossy. If we can get a look at it once again, Bossy was parked off at the side of the crease, and it may be that he was the one that deflected it in. So it is Bossy who is credited with the goal. This one, and it's on to the finals against the very tough Sweden for the Canada Cup. This is Labatt's Canada Cup on CTV.